Do y'all remember when y'all were screaming, give Kay a flute? Give Kay a flute. Kay deserves a flute. Kay is going to be so good as a housewife. Do y'all remember that? I do. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Tammy. This is Tammy Talks. Let's talk The Real Housewives of Potomac, season 10, episode 9. Now, I couldn't find the episode title. I saw one that said Who's Leaking and another one that said Leaks What You Speak. So if you watch on Peacock, I'm sure y'all will have an episode title. But those of us that watch live, I couldn't find the episode title, all right? Before we get started, though, do me a favor. Make sure you guys are hitting the subscribe button. Let's close out the year strong here. Become a member of the family. Thumbs up the video, hype the video, and then leave your comments down below. I don't have to tell y'all to leave y'all comments. Y'all love telling me how wrong I am. Y'all love telling me how wrong I am. But let's go ahead and get started. So the episode picks up right where the last one left off. Remember, Kay was screaming that she would never have Stacy around her husband. And Stacy said, well, baby, you don't have a husband. You don't have one. And Kay was like, you don't have a husband either. Truth be told, I don't think Stacey ever got a divorce. And I know that people like to say, but TMZ proved it. TMZ actually didn't prove anything. TMZ did not produce any type of documentation the way that they typically do that states that Stacey did indeed have a divorce. And if the case was closed, if the filing was sealed, there would still be, to my understanding, I could be wrong. I don't live in the DC area, but there would still be a something versus Stacy or Stacy versus Timo. I believe there would still be something like that. We just would not be able to see the sealed documents. That is just my personal opinion. We know that Stacy is a liar, okay, as I've stated before, and y'all have let me know that y'all don't care about Stacy lying because her lies don't bother anyone. That's what y'all said. Y'all said Stacey's lies don't bother anyone. And if Stacey wants to lie about her relationship, Stacey is well within her rights to do that. But y'all didn't let Robin lie about her relationship. Y'all felt that was wrong. That was wrong. Y'all were in my comments telling me, but Giselle lied about her boyfriends. Yeah, we called her ass about it each and every time. We called her out about it every single time. But it's okay for Stacy to lie because y'all like her. Now, I want y'all to keep the same energy, the exact same energy when Stacy's lies become so much that she can't keep up with them, okay? Okay? But Stacy is saying that she did not talk to Chris. Stacy swears up and down. Like I told y'all in my recap last week, I think I said 75% certain that Stacy said something. And the other 25%, I do believe, is a mixture of Cookie and Kay, right? I know people want to throw Giselle into that mix. Hell, maybe she did it too. I don't know. But I feel like a big part of it is Kay because Kay has like a hard on for Stacy for some reason. Giselle said that Stacy is not to be trusted around husband or children. Shut up, Giselle. Shut up. Like, that don't even make sense. So Charisse calls Chris. I said, girl, the way Charisse not only finds her way on camera, but always finds a speaking line, sends me. Charisse doesn't bother me, but I know that a lot of people do not like Charisse's ass. So when Charisse pulled out that phone and said, I'll call Chris, I hollered. Because I just know how mad people are going to be that Charisse is getting this much camera time. But Charisse is asking Chris, did you talk to Stacy? She was like, I'm filming, which y'all know whenever people start off with that, my antennas go up, and I get it. You have to let someone know that they're being recorded. I 1000% get that. But the moment that you say I'm filming, you're never going to get a real and true answer, right? So Charisse asked Chris, okay, Did Stacy communicate with you about Monique? And about what Monique said. It's a yes or no answer. That's all I need, Chris. Yes or no. Did Stacy call you about that? Chris said, yeah, I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. Now, Chris never said no. Chris said, yeah, I don't know what y'all are talking about. I cannot think of what that term is called when people do that. That's like the people that when they're saying yes, they're shaking their head no, or when they're saying no, they're being like no. Yeah, you know what I mean? I feel it was one of those. Now, do I think that Stacy immediately left the luncheon or whatever and called Chris? I don't know if I believe that. I don't think Stacy is that goddamn stupid. But I do think that Stacy did communicate with Chris. I do. Whether it was right away or something like that, Stacy had a conversation with Chris. It would be very, very hard pressed to convince me otherwise. Do I think she initiated it? That I don't know if I believe. After seeing this episode, that I don't know if I believe. So Tia and Giselle are in the confessional, and they don't believe Stacy. Obviously, Giselle is not going to believe her. And now that Stacy has lied to Tia, Tia's not going to believe her anymore either, right? So Stacy is saying that no matter what she does, people are always going to question her. I can't win in this group. Stacy, no. You can't, baby. And you know why? Because whenever a person has set a precedent of lying about small things, and those things build up and makes them less credible, it does. It just does. Think about the people that y'all know in your real life, right? Even if a person is telling small white lies, little white lies about things that are insignificant and that really don't matter, over time, that person starts to lose credibility with you. Because if you're willing to lie about shit, going to McDonald's, right? You're willing to lie about watching a TV show, you're willing to lie about where you bought a purse from. How do I know that you're not lying about bigger things? Because if a small lie rolls off your tongue that easily, that's an issue for me. That's just me. But according to the audience, right? Stacy telling little small white lies is not a big deal, but it loses her credibility. That's the issue. So Sharice said that, so Stacy walks away, and Sharice is telling some of the ladies that her and Stacy were out. She got a picture of their asses, and they met some guys. And I guess one of the guys went to the bathroom, and it was the guy that Stacy liked. And the other guy was like, he's married. And Stacy said, what that got to do with me? Do I believe that story, Sharice? I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if I believe that, Sharice, but I'm going to let you have it. So then Greg comes in, talking about some, I wasn't nobody talking to me. Go sit the fuck down somewhere, Greg. Please, please. Like... Take your whatever she is to you. Take your K and go somewhere. Like, don't do this. So Giselle is telling Wendy what Angel said to her, talking about somehow, Angel got smoke for you, Wendy. She then bellows for Angel to come over. And I was like, Giselle is so crass sometimes. Why did you yell like that? So Angel comes over. And Wendy is like, heard you got beef with me. And Angel said, yeah, because you don't treat me right. Angel, I'm sorry, but you sound absolutely stupid. You sound absolutely stupid. So then Angel is like, well, Wendy, you are dismissive and snide. Wendy said, well, this is a one-sided beef. I don't have an issue with you. Angel feels in this moment Wendy is being dismissive. This is not dismissive. This is Wendy being sick and tired of this bullshit at this point. You got me defending Wendy. God forbid, right? You got me defending Wendy. Wendy is not doing anything to you, Angel. And I feel that Wendy is very dismissive of people. And I feel that Wendy does look down on people, but Wendy's not doing that to you. She's just honestly not. So Wendy tells the group that Angel is alleging that she didn't speak to her at the airport. Now, back when we were in Nevis, when they let your ass in with that tacky ass camouflage bag, and we first talked about this, we saw the playback of Wendy speaking to you, did we not? Am I imagining that? Nonetheless, I'm with Wendy. If you saw me and did not, you feel I didn't speak, you didn't speak to me either. So then Angel is like, well, because you didn't speak to me. I feel like Angel, my y'all still blaming postpartum on this? Like, for real? For real? Okay. So Kay and Angel start screaming that Wendy is the one that called you a catfish. And everybody was like, no, Giselle said it. And Kay is screeching, it was Wendy! It was Wendy! Giselle was like, no, I said it. I said it. We get the flashback for like the 5th time of this scene where Giselle said it and Wendy simply reiterated it. So Wendy said, you're coming for me instead of going after Giselle. Angel said, this is another example of you being dismissive. You're accusing me. You're accusing me of something that I didn't say. The person who said it is saying that no, they said it. I'm wondering and questioning why you are still accusing me of it and you're calling me dismissive? Like, come on, Angel. You are falling flat. You are falling flat. Angel then says, no, thank you, and walks away. Child, Wendy said, you're saying this as if we want you here. Screaming. Because, like, Angel, let's be so for real. Like, what's happening? Like, you couldn't... Angel, like, oh my God. Girl, not you looking bad and in front of your husband. Jesus. So Stacy is asking Kay, is there anything for her to talk about outside of her? Kay was like, my business, my life, my condo, my man, everything, so much. If I was Stacy, I'd have been like, well, talk about it then. Kay asked Stacy, what is there for her to talk about? Stacy was like, my husband and a ring. I said, ooh. Kay was like, it's cloudy. Stacy said, well, it's cloudy compared to nothing. Cloudy compared to nothing. Kay starts screaming about TJ. Stacy said it's old. It is old at this point. Because, like, Kay, you the only person talking about it. You don't even know TJ like that for you to be talking about it. Stacy then decides to show herself the way out. Now, myself, to me, what this is showing, because do I think that Stacy's being bullied? I don't. I still don't. I still do not believe Stacy is being ganged up on. Kay has an issue with Stacy. This was Kay and Cookie. This was not a gang up in this particular moment. But again, Stacy has put herself into situations that has caused all of this. People aren't pulling shit out of their... Well, Kay is. Outside of Kay, Stacy is not... Stacy has put herself into this situation where these women are confronting her about things. Outside of Kay's weird ass, right? So Stacy decides she's going to leave, and Jesse was like, why are you leaving? Kay said, I am clearly not welcome here. For whatever reason, Giselle comes over, and it's like, if you're leaving, leave, and she's pressing the elevator, and I'm like, see, Giselle, you will have the audience on your side, and then you do shit like this, and then you make the audience not like you anymore. So Angel is telling her husband, you see, this is what I mean by dismissive. The way her husband was like, let that shit roll off your back. Like, how many times is your husband gonna have to tell you it's not that big of a deal for it to sink in? Okay? So Stacy leaves. We then see Stacy talking to Arabella about her swim competition. I guess Arabella came in first, and there was the 1 second between her and second place. They're making pizza as a family. Stacy tells Timo, hey, I need to tell you something. We hear them kiss off camera, but we don't see them. Again, I don't think that Stacy ever got a divorce. I think that Timo did not want to film season 1. Excuse me. I think Timo did not want to film season 1, and I think as a result of that, Stacy made up this story about TJ and how they were separated and all that type of stuff to have an interesting storyline, because Stacy's angle is her family. That she had literally nothing else to talk about last season, right? So Stacy now being magically back with Timo right after the divorce, it looks crazy. And I'm not saying that people don't divorce and get back together, because it does happen. But the way that Stacy's is conveniently in the course of filming, it's something. Okay, that's all I'm saying. But Stacy said that she's happy to be around the people that love her. So I'm like, have y'all told Arabella y'all are back together? Because how did y'all go from this? And I'm just saying, kids are not stupid. But Stacy, last season you were saying that y'all weren't together at the same time around the house, and y'all were doing all this stuff separately. Now all of a sudden y'all are sitting down having pizza and cooking together, and we're supposed to believe that one Arabella thinks that y'all are still divorced. It does, like, your storyline, the image you're trying to present just does not make sense on camera, Stacy. That's the thing. That's why I think you're a liar. Okay. So Arabella is talking about some, one for all for one. We're going to be together forever, all that type of stuff. Timo says as many words as he absolutely has to. Thanks. Yes. Love it. Great. That type of stuff. In the confessional, Stacy said that they are not putting any labels on anything. You're running around calling him your husband, though. So you are putting labels on something. Stacy? Stacy is talking about what she has to do with Shayo. Arabella thinks that Stacy has a gummy bear line. All right. So Ashley, Sheila comes over to her house and we get a family sing-along of healing and thriving. Okay. Sheila's asking her about Josh. Ashley feels like she don't want any more kids, and a marriage would just be kind of like a plus for her, a bonus. And so it's time to let Josh go. She talks about how Uncle Lump had to remind Ashley that, you need to respect Sheila's relationship. If Sheila want to be with this ain't shit ass nigga, let her. If Sheila wants to work 12 and 13-hour days while her nigga sits up in the house, and when I mean nigga, I'm not referring to him being black. He can be white, black, Hispanic, Asian. A nigga is a nigga, okay? He's a bum, right? If Sheila wants to be with that man, let her. Why do we keep talking about this on the show? We don't care. We don't care. Sheila is not on the show. You are, Ashley. I don't care about Sheila. I'm going to be real with y'all. So we then get to Wendy. Wendy is over at Jesse's house where Darius is helping out with some snacks and charcuterie boards and that type of stuff. Stacy comes over, so that means we're going to get two juxtaposition scenes where half the group is here, half the group is over at Angel's house. Let's stick with Jesse's house for now. So Stacy does not understand why she was not given the opportunity to defend herself when it comes to the whole Chris, Monique, Cookie situation. I will 1000% agree. I think that Stacy should have been given the opportunity to defend herself. She should have 1000%. She said that Kay always pipes up when it comes to her, and Kay does, and I think it's because Kiana sees you as an easy target because you lie so much, Stacy. So Kiana feels that, well, we know Stacy tells all these different lies, that it's going to be very easy to pigeonhole Stacy into some type of lie. That's what I think the issue is. So she feels like Kay tries to have moments with her on camera. She absolutely does, Stacy. But don't worry, they're all falling flat. The audience is not falling for it, so don't worry, Stacy. You good. Wendy thinks that you are just Kiana's new favorite toy. That's what it is. Kiana needs to have something to talk about, and by golly, you are that person. Wendy thinks that Stacy should sit down with Monique and have a conversation. Stacy is open to it, but does not feel comfortable with Kay, and I don't blame her. I don't blame her. Lord have mercy, y'all gonna scream colorism, I'm sure, because Kiana is darker than Stacy. Y'all are gonna say it's colorism. Everything ain't colorism. Sometimes bitches just don't like each other, and that's what this is. So over at Angel's house, Angel is so obsessed. Angel probably has to say Bobby a certain number of times every episode. So she's in the house looking out towards the wooded area with binoculars for Bobby and the kids. So over at Angel's house is Kiana, Tia, Giselle, and Ashley. So Angel lets them know that she has found a home that she is ready to buy in Potomac that has 9 bedrooms. Nobody cared. Nobody was impressed by your house having 9 bedrooms. And at this point, by season 10, nobody cares who lives in Potomac and who doesn't, because none of their asses do. So Giselle said that Stacy is the kind of woman that you can't trust. Giselle, you are setting yourself up. You are setting yourself up to be drugged. But Giselle goes on to say that it was disgusting for Stacy to call Chris when Monique was being very vulnerable with the group. And again, I don't think that Stacy got up from the table and immediately called Chris. I do not think that happened, but do I think that there is a possibility that Stacy did talk to Chris? I do. I still do. I still 1000% do. Okay. So Ashley is asking Kiana, would she be open to having a conversation with Stacy and Monique? Now, here, Kiana is saying yes. We pan over to Kay. She's with her mother and her brother over at Greg's house, the house that they live in together. You're not fooling nobody. Kiana tells them that Greg has asked her to move back in, and her mother does not look pleased whatsoever. Greg also has offered to buy her condo, and then said that they should go look at rings. Her mother said, so the condo comes before the ring? And Kay was like, I just think it was a nice gesture. Her mama said, look, you moved out for a reason. Let's get to the commitment. Let's get to the ring, right? You moved out for a purpose. Let's not forget that. Kiana said, yeah, because I wasn't happy in my relationship. Wake it up, dum-dum. You weren't happy because he wasn't proposing to your ass. Come on, Kiana. Like, I don't know if this is real or if this is something Kiana is doing for a storyline, but you can't be this goddamn stupid, sis. You cannot. So in her confessional, Kiana is saying that she feels like the ring is coming. The same way you felt that the ring was going to come by the time you moved into that house. I'm going to ask y'all once again. Do y'all remember how after she got busted in her shit for jumping in a fight that didn't involve her, how y'all were screaming for Kiana to be on the show? How y'all were screaming for Kay to get a flute? It's the same way y'all caping for Stacy's ass. And some of y'all are caping for Angel's ass. Just remember that. Just keep that in mind when y'all windmill for people in the comments. So, Wendy's at home. Her sister Ivy comes over. We haven't seen Ivy in a while. So, she brings up to Ivy how their father did not call her on her birthday. And Ivy is basically over it. Ivy hasn't seen the father for over 20 years as well. The entire family went to Nigeria for a month. And their father was conveniently sick, I guess, the whole damn month when they tried to meet up with him. So Wendy feels that her father doesn't want her. Ivy said it's not that he doesn't want you, it's that he has accepted a life without you in it. Miss Susan comes over, and y'all know Wendy's mama, her mother immediately starts saying how their father is miserable, okay? She said he feels like he's the odd man out because they are so successful. And, Miss Susan is the one enjoying the money. Miss Susan said, I get the bag. Look at my Dior purse. Look at the body you bought me. Look at all the skin bleaching cream you bought me. Look at that. I am enjoying your money. Me. They go inside the house. Wendy said, look at what I'm enjoying. Look at the money that I'm enjoying, okay? They taking you to jail. Wendy, not too much. Wendy, not too much, okay? Because let's not forget, this is a crime scene, sweetheart. This is a crime scene. So Wendy's mama, Miss Susan, is screaming how Wendy got the money. Wendy got the budget. Give her two chandeliers. They taking you to jail. Okay, Wendy. Did you claim your mama's purse on them receipts that got stuck? The next scene, the final scene, is Ashley, Kiana, and Monique. All right. So they are meeting up. Monique comes in, greets everybody, the two of them, everybody, the two of them. And Kay was like, "Is that your oil? Could you put some on me? Could you put some common oil on me?" And Monique was like, "Sure, I got some, here you go." There you go. And Kay is like, "Yes. Yes, I need that. I need that. I like oils too, but And she was like, "Yes, I need that. I need that. I got to calm down. Learn to calm your fucking self down, Kay. Like, girl, do you be on the upper or downer when you film? Because you be doing a lot." So Kay immediately tells Monique that she was on the phone with Cookie right away and said that Stacy was trashing her. And Monique said, "Look, you're dealing with a bunch of people that lie. Stacy's known to be a liar, Chris lies, and Cookie lies." Monique said, "Look, it could be that Stacy did tell Chris exactly what I said, and Chris turned it, heard what he wanted to hear, and ran back and told Cookie. That could very well be how it went." She said, "Because co-parenting is already hard enough." I said, "Oh, I thought everything was good with y'all, but maybe not." Kay looked upset at Monique's response because Kay wanted Monique to be mad at Stacy right away, and she wasn't. So now Wendy has shown up. Wendy said that Stacy is very adamant that she did not talk to Chris. Wendy said that Sharice called Chris, and Monique was like, "Sharice?" Because remember, I don't think Monique is cool with Sharice anymore either. Monique and Sharice fell out. They fell out during Monique's last season, right? Because Sharice said that Monique was using her. Yes, so yeah, she ain't. So Monique is probably like, "The fuck did I come back for?" So Wendy said that Stacy does not want to talk to Kay because she does not feel safe and comfortable. Now, I don't like that word "safe" because I hate when people say that. Um, and I get that they mean like mentally, emotionally, or whatever. I hate when people say that. So Kiana said that she has zero interest in that fake fraud ass bitch. Girl, Kiana, too easy. Stacy walks in the way that Stacy does not acknowledge Ashley or Kiana. The way that Stacy did not acknowledge Ashley or Kiana, and they said to Monique, "I would like to have a conversation with you and with Wendy, but not at the table as it is." Monique said, "Look, we ain't doing all this back and forth, okay?" So then Kay is upset, and Kay wants to leave the table. Get your simple ass up and leave, Kay. Because didn't you just say that you didn't want to talk to her either? Like, I don't understand Kiana. I don't know if production is in her ear. I don't know what it is, but you can't possibly think the way that you're carrying on with Stacy is okay because Stacy has not done anything to you whatsoever. So Monique said, "Look, I do not associate with people that associate with my ex-husband." I have no issue with Monique feeling that way. Stacy starts lying and saying that she did not date Chris. Stacy, that is a lie. And this is what I be talking about with her. Now, we get the flashback that they show every time Stacy says this, where Stacy told Ashley and Jassy she went on a date with Chris. And y'all can play semantics all y'all want in the comments to defend Stacy, but going on a date with a nigga is going on a date with a nigga. Like, stop it. I want Stacy to stop this shit because on one hand, you sat up there in Nevis and was saying that Chris is a good guy and he's a good guy and he's this, that, and the other. If you ain't been hanging out, kicking with a skate with this nigga, doing nothing with him, how can you feel so emboldened to say that this nigga is okay? But now I don't talk to him. I don't know him. You're lying somewhere, Stacy. One of the two is a lie. And considering that Monique does not care if you dated or fucked that nigga in the past, there's no reason to lie about it. You're lying. Somewhere there's a lie in this, though, Stacy. Somewhere there is a lie in this. I don't understand where it is, but like when Monique said people like that cannot keep up with their lives forever. The truth is going to eventually come out. Stacy pulls up some text messages from Chris. Now, we're not going to act like we don't know how iPhones operate, right? So Stacy is showing where she was on the cover of a Potomac magazine with Arabella, and Chris texted her and said the cover was beautiful. She was like, look, I didn't respond. Chris responded back and said a thank you would be appropriate. She did not respond. He then texted her saying that he's coming up and filming what's going on. Now, Stacy deleted those messages. Stacy deleted her responses. She deleted her responses. You can't tell me otherwise. And I was with Ashley. How does he have your phone number? Why do you have his number saved? Where was the who is this? So if you have exchanged, like, it's going to fall on deaf ears. It's going to fall on deaf ears because y'all are still going to say, well, it's okay, Tammy. Everyone is free to date. Everybody is free to date. So we don't understand. I don't understand why Stacy can't just say, yeah, I went on 1 or 2 dates with Chris. Nothing came out of it. We still cool. We don't talk often, but we still cool. That's all she has to say. And yes, I get it. It is nobody else's business who she dates or whatever the case. But it was nobody else's business what Robin had going on with Juan. And it was nobody else's business who Ashley was fucking. And it was nobody else's business when Candace and Chris ever got married. And it was nobody else's business when Giselle lied about all the niggas that these fake people that she keeps bringing on the show. So you don't get to pick and choose when it's okay for somebody to talk about something and when it's not based on who y'all like on the show. That is the point. That's the point. Because a lot of this would be avoided if Stacy would have just be honest about what the fuck was going on. If you went out with Chris once and he wasn't your cup of tea and y'all just became friends after that and then y'all fell off, so shall it be. But let's not act like you don't talk to that man when you clearly got his phone number and he feels comfortable enough to text you. That's the thing. He knows your black ass is on the show, Stacy. Stop. There's a lie in there somewhere, and you are not going to be able to keep up with that lie forever. It's going to come out when you could have just said it from jump. The truth. So Wendy said, well, somebody is leaking messages to Chris. Somebody is. These are Wendy's 4 suspects. Kay is prime suspect number 1. I would like to think Stacy is suspect number 1, but these are Wendy's. Wendy said Kay is prime suspect number 1, and at this point, Kay is my suspect number 1 too. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Stacy's number 2. Actually, yeah, Kay is mine. Angel is suspect number 2 because we know that Bobby knows Chris. Angel could have run back, done da 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 da. But I don't think Angel has an issue with Stacy. But who knows? Angel got a problem with everybody, so who knows? They said Wendy said Giselle is prime suspect number 3 because Giselle done got cool with Cookie since Karen is in jail, and then she gives Stacy suspect number 4. It's one of them 4 heifers, for sure. It's one of them 4. Monique said that she does not know who to believe. I'm more inclined to believe that Kiana called Cookie and they concocted some type of situation. That's what I'm more inclined to believe. Kiana called Cookie because the fact that Kiana said that as soon as she left the table or whatever, she was on the phone with Cookie, that tells me that it could have been Kay. It could have been. Monique tells Stacy, like, just be careful with the whole situation because Chris is messy. So be careful. Now, Stacy always makes these faces that looks as if she's guilty. A lot of y'all seem to believe that Stacy is playing the game, and she might be. Stacy might be, but is risking your reputation and being known as a liar, right? Is that worth whatever little notoriety you would get on the show? Is it worth it? Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Who are your prime suspects? Okay. Do you think that Kiana is your prime suspect, like Wendy is a legend? Or do you guys think, I know y'all gonna say it's Giselle, but who is your prime suspect? Let me know down below. Subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.